amount of people that are just figuring out that Black people have decided collectively, for the most part, to boycott Asian establishments. Y'all didn't know? I'm sorry. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, well, it was just one Asian. It doesn't mean that all of them are like that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. However, yeah, we move in packs. We move collectively as a group to prove a point. To prove a point. And so then people are like, that's why there's all of this division. It creates division. It creates division. Well, they have been collectively trying to divide us for the longest. So we're going to remove ourselves. We're going to remove our money, our Black dollars. See, Target figured it out, and they're still struggling, right? And then the Caucasians and the Alabaster disasters were like, yeah, we don't like Target either, right? And that's where change happens. That's where change happens, because it also forces those other businesses and the Asian businesses to look and step outside of themselves to see if there is any, and there is, and that's the reality of it. So now I won't talk about the fact that my nail tech is African American and has been for a very long time. I'm aware of disparities, and I have discernment. I just have discernment about the people around me and the people that I want around me. So, yeah.
There is a lot of rising tension between the Asian and Black American community, with Black Americans saying, let's boycott some Asian businesses, and Asian Americans saying, stop attacking our people. And this is all being caused due to the acquittal of Rick Chow in the murder of Cyrus Carmack-Belton. And it's upsetting seeing this divide occur, because we should all be, with each other in solidarity as minorities, right? I think we can all agree that Rick Chow should be in prison. He shot and murdered a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, I agree.
However, why are we combating that with racism against one another? In my opinion, the only person that wins as the result of us attacking each other, us unfairly discriminating against Black Americans, Black Americans unfairly discriminating against Asian Americans, are the bigots that support Rick Chow being found not guilty. One man's actions should not justify demonizing an entire community. Calling in fake orders to Asian restaurants and boycotting small Asian businesses is not the answer. I discriminate against everybody from Vermont because Chester Arthur is the one that signed the Chinese Exclusion Act? No, I think that's unreasonable. I like Bernie. I hope some justice is served for Cyrus Carmack-Belton and his family finds peace.
So this is something that I want us to really focus on. While you are watching this video of a vandalized Asian business, I want you to understand something that many people do not understand, because now we already know why they're trying to boycott Asian. We already understand that. I think it has been established in the previous clip how that Rick Chow unalived a 14-year-old Black guy, and the court's verdict over that case was Rick Chow is not guilty, because Rick Chow claimed self-defense and that he thought he was trying to rob his son or whatever, so he did it out of self-defense. Now, what is crazy about this is that people are talking about boycotting Asian-owned businesses, and these are Black people saying these things. And I understand why most of us or some of us want to boycott these Asian people, is because this is not just the first time. There have been times whereby we have been racially profiled, we have been disrespected, and forgetting the fact that Black people are the major patronizer or the major supporters of Asian-owned businesses. We buy their hair, we buy their clothes, we buy everything that they produce, forgetting that we are the reason why their business they succeed and the business team move, and then they undermine us and insult us and say they don't that since we want to boycott, instead of apologizing and instead of saying okay, we are sorry, let's not fight ourselves, right? They pick it up as an excuse to undermine us and make it feel like, oh, without the Black we can still do well, without the Black we can still do well. And honestly, Black people have been complaining about this disrespect, this racial profiling that the Asian community have towards the Black community. And this is something that has happened for years. We've been complaining, but what has happened now with the Rick Chow and Belton case has now make it like this is the final straw. This is what we can take. We can no longer tolerate this anymore. We can no longer tolerate this moving forward. So this case alone is what we are now after, right? So let's continue watching the video And there are some clips I've gathered so that we can see together. In the course of the video, I'll come back for my commentary, and again, I'll make some commentary about some things. So let's continue.
I support the economic boycott that the Black community has been calling for against Asian-owned businesses. And here's why. You should never spend your time and energy in people that don't see you as humans. Yeah. That if you went into their store, you would fear for your life. So let me give you an example. Anytime I want to eat Mediterranean food, I've learned that Mediterranean is a very loose term for a region that's currently being colonized. I'll call the restaurant and just straight up ask, is this restaurant owned by an Israeli person? And or is the head chef an Israeli person? If they say yes, I say, well, that's unfortunate because I cannot support a restaurant that supports genocide in an apartheid state. And not only that, I'm going to put your name on a list that I started in 2023, which is just my Excel spreadsheet, with other friends who also don't support Zionist institutions. And also on a tangent, like, what is Israeli food? These are the lengths that I am willing to go through in not supporting a business that doesn't see every human with dignity. We should already be boycotting corporations. Like, for example, Hyundai, which is a Korean company, their bulldozers are currently tearing down homes in the West Bank of occupied Palestine. So they're displacing the indigenous people. We should be boycotting, or at the very least, not buying the latest iPhone every year, because Apple is illegally mining cobalt and coltan in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and using slave labor to dig out those minerals.
Crazy.
Did y'all see the video of the guy that posted, if all Black women stop buying hair care products for 30 days, the impact that it would have on the world? He posted a video and it blew up. All the comments are wanting to do it and how do we do it and all of those kinds of things. So from what I'm seeing, the revolution is going to start September the 1st. And he also posted the impact that it would have on the world. And I'm just going to kind of glance over what he said.
Today, I am out in the streets spreading the word of the boycott that is happening now and letting people know that this ain't what we doing no more. Okay? So stay tuned. All right. I'm walking to the beauty supply store to see if any Black people are in there supporting the Asian business. I understand that a lot of people do not know. And that's why I'm out here trying to spread the word and let people know that, hey, this is not what we're doing. So yeah, let me walk up.
I will talk about
see this
something.
beautiful you.
I will say something
Man,
about the Asian.
have you heard about the boycott that's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't even be in here, girl. You know what? And I'm about to tell.
I will speak about something about the Black,
people in here.
and I will speak about Asia too in the course of this video so that we can understand something.
Hello, everybody, Black women. I'm here to represent the boycott that's happening for Cyrus Belton. He was killed by an Asian man, and the verdict was non-guilty for allegedly stealing water bottles that he did not do. We are boycotting all Asian businesses. So I'm coming here to let y'all know we're not doing any beauty supply stores. We're not doing any carryouts, hibachis, none of that. A lot of people don't know. That's why I'm letting y'all Black women know that we're not doing this. We're saving our Black dollar and giving it to Black businesses. I'm sure you heard of it. You look like a young woman. You should know what's going on. So I'm spreading the word, and y'all have a nice day. Ma'am, we boycotting these type of businesses. I don't know why you're going in here. You might not have heard what's going on, but look up Cyrus Belton.
Oh yeah, I know about it.
Yeah, but you're still going in. So spin Black, okay?
Spin Black.
My grandma always used to say, people always think the grass is greener on the other side, but you still got to water that shit. And every time I see certain conversations online, I always think about that. I'm seeing some folks say Black people shouldn't be boycotting Asian businesses. Y'all gonna see what happened to y'all. And I'm like, what happened to y'all? What happened to us? What happened to y'all? That's the part that always kind of gets me, right? If Black people don't matter, if the Black dollar ain't valuable, if Black people are doing too much, then stop taking our money. It's really that simple. Go on and get all them other dollars. Open your stores exclusively in communities where you feel like people don't complain, don't protest, and they don't speak up. Since we're such a burden, go and see how much it works out for you. The irony is Black people have spent generations fighting for equality, not just for Black people, but for everybody. And now a lot of people that benefited from the fight that Black people did, they want to say, just be quiet and shut up. But if it wasn't for us, they'd be no you. Yeah. And now some of the people who benefited from Black folks opening those doors act like Black people don't bring nothing to the table. And that's why I don't get offended anymore. If you truly believe Black people have no value, stand on business. Yeah. Stop taking the Black dollar. Stop opening businesses in Black neighborhoods. Stop marketing to Black consumers. And this let us know when that little experiment works out. Because see, my grandmama also taught me something else. Folks don't appreciate water until the well runs dry.
Oh, shit.
Boycotting is not enough. Boycotting the Asian community is just not enough for me. Honestly, I feel like we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. And in order for us to like really crush our competition and let them know like we really don't need them for real, because we don't. And what that video told me was that their business models, they came here and they made great business models that work in our own communities. And we haven't figured out how to do that. So I'm going to take my accounting expertise and bring it to you. Okay. So first of all, we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. Now, one person goes over to Asia, they come here, or that one person comes from Asia, they come over here. They work, save money, buy a building, open up a nail salon. They call 5 of their family members and say, hey, nail salon is up and running. You guys come over here and we're going to start working. Now, this is the one thing we're missing and we don't understand about our competitor. They're not going to pay them the same thing that we would expect here in America.
Very true.
Why? Because their expectations are different. They're not coming here thinking they're going to make $17 an hour. They're actually okay with making 10. They're not rich. So their largest expense is now cut in half. True. Not only that, but their business model makes sense for our own Black communities, right? And I'll say for the specific communities that one man was talking about, right? He's talking about low income communities. Let's keep it a band. And the reason it works for us is because their price point is low. Why is their price point low? Because they do high volume. Yeah. High volume meaning there's 5 different people, maybe 6, 7 different employees in there. They can afford to have to have 6, 7, 8 employees there because they're only paying them $10 an hour. They do not have to pay them the standard rate of like 17. So they can have more employees in there, right? So more employees equals more people that can get done, right? They can probably bust out about $1,500 to $2,000 a day working on maybe, 30, 40 women in one day. That's easy work for them. And that's only one day. So high volume is what helps them. High volume, low price point. Okay. Also keep in mind, largest expense is very minimum because they're using foreigners to do their stuff, to handle their labor in their business. All right. So now let's talk about us in our Black community. I'm not sure why we have all these one-off nail salons. And what I mean by one-off, meaning you have one person in this nail salon, in this studio that's charging about $150 per set. That doesn't work. Why would that ever work? 1, you're not helping the community. 2, you're not giving jobs. 3, you might be making $600 in a day. But how long is that going to last? It might not be consistent, and you're doing all the work, right? Because you're just one person. So you're doing the marketing, you're doing the sales, you have to do the nails, you have to do the cleanup, the taxes, the accounting. You're doing everything because you're one person. But if you open a business, you can spread the wealth. So hear me out. Again, disclaimer, I am not in the nail industry, so I don't know all the details, but I'm an accountant and I'm really good with numbers. So follow me here. What if we did 2 different models in a nail factory, meaning the first model being a membership model. Okay. You tell 150 women that, hey, you can get your nails and toes done twice a month for $200, right? Or maybe you say 300. I'm gonna go with 200 though for math's sake. Okay. If you can get 150 women to do that, that's going to be $30,000 in recurring revenue every single month. Guaranteed. $30,000 in recurring revenue. Okay. Now let's talk about the highest expense. It's going to be payroll. You make it $30,000 in recurring revenue. You can afford to pay somebody $17 an hour. It might cost you about, with 5 employees, that's probably going to cost you about $12,240. That's paying 5 employees, $17 per hour, and they're working about 36 hours per week. That's going to be $12,240. If you add in the taxes and the payroll fees that you're going to have to pay, that's going to be about $16,000. Okay. But you just made $30,000. That leaves you with $14,000 left, or 47% of your revenue to pay for other things. And that's just one tier. The second tier is that these nail techs that can build their own clientele, come work in the studio in our building. We take 10%. The other 90 is for you. Yeah. You think one nail tech, let's say they do $5,000 per month, okay? And that's minimum. They do $5,000 per month. We're going to take 500 of that. You get 10 of those, you done made an extra $5,000. So now instead of $30,000, you just made $35,000.
Yeah.
Great business model. Everybody eats. You have your employee, you have your people that want to do their own business. They're keeping 90% of their revenue. Then you have the people that are doing hourly and you're doing a membership model with them. I want to hear y'all thoughts and what you would think about it. But my goal is to build something sustainable to where we never have to go back to the Asian community. It's not a question of boycotting. You'll never see us again because our business models work in our own communities. All right, that's all I have. Share your thoughts. Bye.
So I want to say something to the Asian community, and I want you guys to understand something, what boycotting simply means. Now, when we say we want to boycott you guys, we're not trying to attack you guys. We're not threatening you guys. We're not saying we'll stab you when we see you. We are simply saying we don't want to do business with you. And I think honestly and without fairness, we have the right to do that. We can say we don't want to bring our money to you because our black dollar doesn't matter to you. And for that reason, we're taking our dollar to our black-owned business. That is boycotting. And we have come to this point because of histories, because of years of racial profiling, years of disrespect, years of not wanting to hear our opinions and hear our view and understand us from our own perspective. So I want you guys to understand this, Asian community. Just understand this, that we are not, because most of you guys, I don't know, even voted for Trump. You guys are voting for Trump, and what you are getting now is actually what is deserving of you guys' attitude. Because so this isn't really about, how do I put this in English now? This isn't really about proving that black people can survive without Asian people. So that's not what I'm trying to explain here, because truly speaking, black people, the community can survive without Asians. Yes, you guys would say you're the one that give us the air, you give us the clothes, you give us basically everything we use. But we have our own black-owned business whereby we ourselves, we need to invest in ourselves and build ourselves. And if we do that, we don't need you guys. Funny enough, we don't need you guys. Now, look at what has happened in the past days. Look at what's happening to your industry. Look at what's happening to your businesses. You people are literally suffering because of we have decided to boycott you guys and not to hear you or hear from you or listen to what you guys have to say. Okay, by the way, let's continue. If you have not already liked this video, go ahead and like this video. Drop a comment, subscribe, do whatever you can do. Just let this video get to someone. Share the video, by the way, to your friends and let them understand. And these guys are MAGA Asians. That's just the truth. They're the one that voted for Trump. So I think they're getting what they deserve. So by the way, let's continue.
I'm going to say this, man, but this Asian boycott should be permanent. There shouldn't be no 2-month trend and then we back buying their bullshit like we did with H&M, we did with Target and all of these stores. This should be permanent. These people has been disrespecting black people for the longest time. This is not new. They've been doing it. There has been shooting black child in their head. There has been shooting black child in their back. This is not their first rodeo. They've been doing it. You feel me? They take the most from the black community when you really think about it. Most of these tours is set up in the black community. Most of this tour. All over the fucking world, if you really think about it. In Africa, they're there. In Jamaica, they're there. They're everywhere. Leeching. Acting as if they're doing black people some type of service by selling plastic rice, selling clothes that will fucking burn you, that will fucking get you sick, give you cancer, selling hair product that will give you cancer. So they do sell black people the bottom of the barrel when it comes to product. They don't sell black people the good shit. They sell black people the fucked up shit. And they purposely sabotage black businesses. They make sure to sell black businesses the stuff at a higher price. So whenever black people try to sell it back to other black people, they can't afford it. So they end up have to come back to Mr. Come back to the China man to buy it, because they do it on purpose. They've been doing this shit, man. So this boycott should be permanent. This shouldn't be no temporary fix. This should be a permanent fix. This also going to highlight more black businesses. One, this will help black people health even more, because they be selling plastic rice. That ain't good for your health. They be selling fucking jankro, pigeon, this guy's as chicken. They be selling fucking all kind of bullshit. This guy's as food. So black people should take this as a lesson and take this as a blessing in disguise, man. Use this opportunity to uplift, promote black businesses.
Yes.
And move better from here.
And so what if black people are boycotting Asian businesses? If that's what it takes to wake our community up.
Gia, you are very critical of Asians, and when you talk this way about our people, all you're doing is creating division. I've seen your videos about the Cyrus Rick Chow situation. I don't disagree with your stance there. It was a tragic loss of life. There is anti-blackness within our community. I just don't think you need to imply that we deserve to be boycotted. Like, yeah, go ahead. Wake our community up. Who are you referring to exactly? Maybe you should clear that up. You are telling the black community it is okay to generalize all of us, and the ones who are speaking out against it right now, I'm watching them get bullied by their own peers, and I can only imagine that you are partially responsible. Because hey look, an Asian said it was okay. Do you know that woman?
If you come to New York, yo, you gotta order 4 chicken wings with pork fried.
This woman, all she's doing is telling the world how good this Asian restaurant is, and look at these comments. This is ridiculous. Like, since when are we the boot? Us, Asians in this country? The boot. Does this woman who made the chicken wings, does she need a wake-up call?
We're calling all of the Asian takeout places. We're placing a big-ass, fat-ass...
Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite and generalize the black community. I know these cases are outliers, and most black people want this boycott so that they can circulate their money back into their own community, as they should. And I'm seeing stuff like this on my FYP too. Clearly, a lot of black people are wanting to support their own people, which is good, but clearly there are some who are doing things for revenge. And I can't help but feel like people like you enable that. Now, yes, it's more the black community's responsibility to address these people than it is ours, but my point is, you are not helping. This guy is a complete dunce and does not speak for me, yet I honestly feel like you validate his existence. You give his words power. You guys have similar energy, actually.
Please do. So what?
I'm really wondering where you're coming from deep down. Do you really think that we are so much more capable than black people of taking economic hits, that you can just throw all Asian businesses under the bus like this? So I don't know where you grew up, but I grew up in New York, and a lot of Asians in New York do not grow up financially privileged, whether they're East Asian, South Asian, Southeast Asian. Do you think those people are anti-black and need to wake up? I honestly feel like they don't have the time to be anti-anybody. They're trying to just make it.
Wow.
I saw a video on TikTok.
Oh, I think you're the first one to come up and say that.
The black and Asian communities, we are running through a lot of the same hurdles. But the way you talk about us, honestly, it sounds like you have the Asian version of white guilt. And I hate to use that term, but we got to call it something. And I'll be honest, that video of yours about Jeffrey's Island and how they viewed Asians as more desirable than blacks, the one that you deleted without addressing any of the black creators that called you out, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, which I have a lot of respect for you and other Asian creators on this app. I think we all have a place here, more or less. But this time I cannot sit idly by while you get on here and minimize our life experiences and our people. Anti-blackness does exist within our community. It's good that you call it out. But if you continue to talk without nuance and with such anger, all you're going to do is set yourself up as quote unquote one of the good ones, which is such a divisive, harmful, and unnecessary thing to be. I hope you understand that.
Maybe.
You know what? You're right. Let's boycott Asian businesses. But first of all, your glasses, they're probably from Asia. Your hair extensions, probably from Asia as well. Your car and your jewelry, probably from Asia. The clothes on your back, unfortunately Asian as well. And TikTok's Chinese.
So what y'all think about this? Here we go another Asian telling y'all that y'all can't do without them. And it's amazing to me how the women get on this app and be so quick to say what they ain't gonna do and what they don't need and who they gonna boycott. When you sitting up here with everything on that they produce, you got the hair on, you got the weave on, the clothes, designer clothes, everything he said, you got. So what you gonna do? It's kind of unbelievable. And I tell you something else. I've been seeing videos where people have been lately really trying to patronize in the black community. And what happens? One girl said, and this is why I stopped with the black nail technicians. And I had thought about that thing. A lot of black nail technicians, when you go to them and your nails are already done, they don't want to do your nails. They say they don't work over anybody else's work and you have to go get them taken out. They don't have the service of taking off nails or soaking them out. So you still have to go to an Asian for them to take your nails off. And that's when an Asian told me I was messing my nail bed up because I kept on getting my nails taken off and going to get them redone, a fresh set every time. It's like you destroying your nail bed. I was like, okay. Then you hear another girl on here. She said she patronized with a black establishment the other day. And when she came in, she asked for a certain thing. They didn't have it. And she was like, what do you suggest? And they was like, what do you want? They just had a bad attitude. And she was going to give them a good review. And then she changed it because she's like, they treated her like trash. So what are you doing? I'll tell you something else. Every time I go into a hair supply store, and I go to the same one all the time, they are so nice to me. I get a discount. And then every once in a while, they have a product in there and say, try this and see if you like it. How many times have you went to your black nail technician or your black salon, person that does your hair, your black beautician, and they have actually did something like your birthday come up, and they have actually given you something for your birthday, or how else can I say this? Or vice versa. How many times do you get your hair done and you know your beautician does a good job and you don't even tip them? I'm just saying, we just out of order in all kind of ways and we got a lot of work to do. You have to be a certain type of way if you're going to own a business and you want people to come and shop with you, because now they just come and shop with you because of this boycott thing. But if they really had a choice and this never would have happened, guess what? They would have never came to your store.
So let me just say something here, right, before we continue, right? And this is to my black community. This thing, guys, if we really want to boycott Asians, I need us to understand the fact that It's going to be difficult. We have to be honest with ourselves that it's going to be difficult. Why is this going to be difficult? Because there are going to be consequences of our actions. Because for every action, there is always an equal or opposite reaction, right? Now, if we say we want to stop spending on Asian businesses, we're not just affecting the owners of these businesses, we are affecting the entire economic system of the country. So if we say that we are not going to invest into Asian businesses, we also understand that we are also talking about some employees that probably are blacks that will suffer from it, because they would have to lay off workers and and stuff. And automatically most of us that are our black employees working for this industry would be laid off, and now they have to look for jobs. And we black community, we do not learn to give our jobs to ourselves. We are mostly self-employed. We mostly run our own business without employing somebody. So if we are going to do this thing, we need to be very determined, because as it were, we have the money, we have the choice, we have the community. We need to really build. We need to build ourselves. And I feel like this is a call to all black community and black people, that we need to really build and support ourselves. When we support ourselves, we assist another person to grow. Why you assist another person to grow? You consciously invest in that business. Now, if probably you're not into nail or hair, whatever, you can invest into your friend's business that is into all of these things, and then so that your friend can have the ability and the capacity to employ more people, more black people that would work in the business to make sure that the business grow. This is how we can support black-owned businesses. We keep the money circulating in our community. We do not let it spread outside, and at such we can also create alternatives, so that we are not dependent on another community that would in the future profile us racially again, insult us, disrespect us. So if we're going to do this thing, we need to understand it critically, and we need to think it critically. Economically, what is this thing going to do to us? And economically, how is this going to affect the black community? So before we take any decision, before we do anything, before we start boycotting these businesses, we must understand that some of the workers and the employees of these businesses are black. I hope you understand. So we have to understand that we have to establish that fact that some of them are black. And if they are black, the tendency of them being laid off is there. So let's continue.
So mad at me about my boycott Asian businesses take, so I'm going to double down and say the exact same thing that I said at the end of the video right now, because I know people don't make it to the end of the video. The black community should not be engaging with anyone who sees us, our community, our children as threats, even in the slightest bit, and anyone who sees black people as a stepping stone or a road bump to their own success. Point blank, period. If you're seeking to send a message to the collective Asian community, there is no Asian community. We only think that because of white people, and I'm not about to buy into some white people bullshit. I'll never be opposed to supporting black businesses. There just is no Asian community. That shit doesn't exist. The world is anti-black, and the only people we got are us.
I know there's a lot of hatred or boycotting between the Asian Americans and the Black Americans due to a lot of craziness happening. Instead of boycotting, I think it's completely useless. I actually think we should do the opposite. We should invite Black people to Asian business and vice versa. Invite Asian people to Black business owners. We need to build more of a community so we can prevent these kind of terrible incidents that's happening amongst each other. I don't know about you, but hatred can never be solved with more hatred. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's only forgiveness and love that really heals and connects all of us. Anyways, just my thought.
All I'm saying is that if you're Asian, before you should even be asking the question about who gets to decide who gets to boycott Asian-owned businesses, we need to be having the conversations in our own spaces about whether or not anti-Black racism needs to be addressed, and have those uncomfortable conversations within our communities. Because I've been doing this for years, right? Have you been doing that before you decided to come online and post a video being like, oh, Black Americans are such hypocrites, which they are not. They have a right. They have an absolute right, because we do have rampant anti-Black racism. And before we are willing, we need to be willing to take accountability for that before we get to decide whether or not anybody should be boycott. Also, it's not even our decision who gets to boycott. Our role, right? And everybody has different roles under systemic oppression, and something happens, is what can I do in solidarity instead of looking at this situation as an us versus them problem? If you're still looking at it from the lens of an us versus them problem, then you are on Rick Chow's side. And I know that people can say oh, well, you know what, I have such a diverse spectrum of ideas and I see things differently. But when it comes to systemic oppression in a world that is made to be black and white, then if you are going to look at this boycotting situation as, oh, you shouldn't boycott us, why should we have to pay for the sins of this one guy? Like, that's not like the systemic playbook, right? Like like when one person does harm, or even if it's a few people doing harm, right? Like, if you think about like slavery in the South, even if it was just a few people, a few families running the whole thing, okay? The systemic issue is still the fact that everybody inherited these core belief systems about certain marginalized groups of people, and we are still perpetuating these ideas, right? Like, the issue is that our ideologies are still there, right? And until we're able to address that, why are we even thinking immediately like, oh, actually, I'm going to argue about boycotting, when you should be looking at yourself in a mirror and being like, hey, I realize that I'm contributing, my community is contributing. How have I seen anti-Black racism manifest in Asian spaces? Like, why are these conversations so difficult to have? I don't know. But they need to be had, right? They exist. They exist.
Yeah.
People are doing it, some people are not. But when it comes to the question of solidarity, are you for or against? And if you are for, then have the conversations first before you decide who gets to boycott if you are an Asian person.
Now, I know most Asian business owners are probably thinking to themselves that this situation with Black Americans banning supporting their businesses will eventually come to an end sooner than later, and it'll be back to business as usual. But to be honest with you, I don't think so. As you can see, these ladies getting it in, putting in work. I don't think so. I think you guys are in it for the long haul when it comes to Black people supporting your businesses again. And I'm gonna give you a few reasons why I think so. Number one, a lot of people been waiting on you to fuck up anyway. And that's just the truth. A lot of people have been waiting on you to fuck up. Which leads me to number two. You have close to 50 million Black Americans in this country. A lot of them who have been waiting on the opportunity to provide these services to their community. But you was in the way, which goes back to number one. A lot of people been waiting on you to fuck up. And last but not least, a lot of Black Americans have been talking to their children about this. And there's a lot of things you don't want to be in the eyes of your children, but you definitely don't want to be a hypocrite and to look weak in front of your children or in the eyes of your children. So for me to sit down and have these conversations with my children on why we shouldn't support these businesses, and then to go and start back supporting them, makes me a hypocrite to my child, and it also makes me look weak. So for the, it's a few more reasons, but those are just a few reasons why I feel like things will never go back and be the same as it was. It's common sense.
The reason why Asian people are so upset about this whole Asian boycott is just because we're being, singled out, you know what I mean? Always getting singled out, like, it's not the first time, right, for us, you know what I mean? And we would have thought, like, of all people, Black people would have understand. And it's messed up, this whole situation, like, white people, like, race against Black people for generations, and now Black people are race against Asians. I mean, it's kind of ironic, don't you think?
What is ironic here? What is ironic here? Now, listen, if you look at this plant here, over here, right? You can see this plant over here, right? If one of my plants is infected, one of these plants is infected, it spreads across to the other plant. So what does that mean? It means that Asian people saying that this is just one person committing that, one person committed this thing, and if one person can commit it, why are we spreading it to every other person? Now, like I pointed to you and I pointed that plant, if one is affected, it touches everywhere. It is systemic something. It's the food chain. It's how it is being structured, like a full structure. Now, I want to say something, and this is going to be like a balance to it. Asian people, you need to understand that if you want to do business with the Black community or any community as it were, you must respect your customer. You must respect them. By all means, respect them. When it comes to your value, your belief, your whatever, you keep that at home. You don't bring it to another person, another race, and say, oh, you call them names because of they are not from your race. That is bad. And for a business that wants to strive and do well, you must learn to respect your customer or whoever buys from you, because it's not easy to cut away with your hard-earned money and invest in your business. And after investing in your business, you turn back to insult me. That's hurtful and it's not good. Now, to my Black community, I also want you to understand that this is not just about Asian. This is a full chain structure. If you're going to boycott the Asian community, we must invest heavily in ourselves. We must believe so much in ourselves that we make our business grow beyond what it is now. And at the same time, we must learn to always employ labor, employ workforce, because this is something that a lot of black communities don't do. You don't employ people, you just want to do your business yourself. So we must learn to employ people, not just owning the business. We must learn to employ other people to work for us. That's another thing. And there's something I wrote here that I need us to understand that said, if black, I was telling this to the Asian community, that if black consumers decide they do not want to spend their money with you or with any other community, you have to understand that and you have to respect it. It's our right. It's within our right to do that. It's not us saying we hate the Asians. We don't hate the Asians. We do not hate the Asians. I hope that makes sense. So if you like this video, kindly like, drop a comment. I will reply. I've been replying to comments, so drop a comment and like this video. What do you think about boycotting Asians, and what do you think about black people starting up their business? I want to see your comment in the comment section.